Opening statement, and then we'll go into questions. We'll have players right after. Raise your hand and get a mic.
Hey, just want to start by congratulating Coach Webb and the golf team, obviously winning match play championship yesterday. It's awesome to see their success and great to see a lot of success here on campus by all of our sports teams. So excited for them. Obviously we're in a bye week, got some work today. Got an opportunity to heal some guys up, but get back to some fundamental work as well and start turning our attention to LSU a little bit here as the week goes on. So with that, I'll open it up.
Questions?
Not everybody at one time.
Rob, then West.
Cedric, I'm sure we all want to know anything on Cedric yet?
Not right now. Obviously, we're a long ways away from game time. We're hopeful that he'll continue to make progress and be available when we go down there.
Make sure we get a mic to you for audio purposes. West, then Brent.
Josh, when y'all were kind of cleaning up the film from the Florida game, what did you see defensively that was causing some issues? Was that Richardson just making some plays, or were there some breakdowns in the mix?
Sure. Some of it you got to give him credit, give them credit too. He's a good player and made some plays with his feet and with his arm too. And some of their max protections, they were able to block it up pretty well and give him time to push the football down the field. There's things that we got to do better, starting with some tackling, assignment, understanding. Where we're not playing with the right angles and technique that maybe allow him to get outside of the pocket. The tackling down the football field at times was not good enough. And then there's some coverage lapses too, and in what we do that can be all three levels. It can be obviously our secondary, but our linebackers, and sometimes when we're dropping our front into coverage too, them being in the right spot. It's a combination of all those things that didn't allow us to get us off the field. We enough. We had them in a bunch of second and longs and third and longs too, and we got to take advantage of those situations.
Brent?
You mentioned working on fundamentals this week. For young guys, how big of a week is this to kind of catch their breath, to see, for you guys to evaluate, see where they are in terms of how much they can help you over the next third of the season? A guy like Joshua Joseph, other players like that.
Yeah, some guys that have played for us, maybe not in every ball game up until this point, but have played some. And guys that have played every snap, they've been a part of what we're doing, and that's in all three phases. A chance to kind of reset, get back to some fundamentals, which are important. It takes you to where you need to be, and then obviously continue development of our young guys, and that's guys that have played and guys that haven't. That as this season goes on, here you get to the back 2/3 of the season. You guys know, right? You're gonna need a bunch of bodies because you don't know, who gets nicked up and when.
Vince, then Adam.
Two things separate. First, Javonte Spraggins hasn't given up a sack or a QB hit this year. Where specifically has this game come on?
Yeah, first of all, he always plays with great energy and passion and plays, to the echo of the whistle. I love his football energy, excitement, and demeanor every single day. He cares in a really, really good way. He's just gotten better and being fundamentally better in pass protection, and his growth, through spring ball and through training camps allowed him to play more efficiently in the pass protection world, and obviously we're going to continue to need that here.
And how do you evaluate your offensive line play so far this year overall?
Been really good at times. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we got to do better. There were some things in the protection world that they did a really good job of the other night. There's some things that got to get cleaned up with everybody in our pass protections too. The run game wasn't as clean as it could have been, but there were some positives in the run game too. That's kind of a vague answer, isn't it?
It is.
I don't give out a grade, A, B, C, D or anything like that, but there's some things that they've done at a really high level. We can be more consistent.
Couple things. Injury update. Will Warren Burrell be available, and then Dylan and D. Those last two guys were warming up the other day.
Yeah, we'll just see where we get to when we get to next week. We're a long ways away, and that's the advantage of a bye week, to just see where we're at.
And we talk a lot about the tempo in offense, but because your offense works so fast, scores quickly, your defense gets back out there quickly. Is there an adjustment during the season of that quick change, of the defense having to adjust to that speed, getting back out there after 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, real time. You don't always know what it is, because you got TV timeouts and that type of thing. So our kids understand, how we're playing, and I'm saying every player on our roster and understands, what the flow of the game typically is. Offensively, if we're not picking up the first down, obviously that can be a quick change and something you don't want to do offensively because you want to go score, and obviously you want to give your defense a little bit of time to make some adjustments on the sideline too.
Patrick and Dan.
Coach, a couple things with Hendon, any lingering issues with whatever was in the game on Saturday with Hendon?
He was out there today and looked good, so we anticipate having no problems.
And the final 8 minutes of the game, you're up 17, it gets down to the final play. What did you like, not like about how you guys kind of closed out the game?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, you want to finish out the 4-minute drive when we had the football and be able to be in a position to take a knee and end the game with us on the field offensively. And defensively, we just didn't do the things that you need to at the end. And that's tight coverage, just being able to affect the quarterback and get off the football field. And, there's some things that we got to do better, handle the last play the right way. BYU was able to get some pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, special teams. Onside kick, you don't want to give those up. You're putting yourself in a susceptible position right there. So there's things in finishing out the game that we have to do a better job, and that's our entire football team. It's not just one player or one unit.
Josh, how well is playing right now is key for his development over the offseason?
I'm sorry I missed it.
Marty Thomas, how well is
O has been probably as consistent as anybody has been in the interior. Continuing to change his body has allowed him to be more explosive, play in a better football position, play with better fundamentals and technique, the duration of a football game. His continued growth as a leader has been important inside of our defensive line room. And, he's continually getting better and doing a better job of snagging off and making plays in the run game and being able to push and affect the pocket and create some big plays there too.
Or I think in the back there.
You mentioned golf and there's a lot of other programs that are finding a lot of success and now competing for championships here at the University of Tennessee. I just wanted to ask you, what's your excitement for the future of Tennessee athletics with a lot of these programs achieve such success?
Yeah, I just this is this brand as an athletic department and as a university too. I think this is a great time to be in Knoxville, and the passion of our fan base is felt by obviously our football program, but it's felt by everybody, and there's a ton of excitement that surrounds Knoxville, state of Tennessee, and Vol Nation, and that creates an energy that helps us recruit great players, and I'm talking every program. When it's going good, your logo is in front of everybody all year long, 365 days out of the year, and success breeds success across the board. And I think it's really unique that within our athletic department you have a close-knit group of coaches that truly care about each other and genuinely are excited when the other one is successful. And all of that parlays itself into us continuing to build and be able to chase championships, not just as a football program, but as an entire athletic department. And it's a lot of fun. You guys are in here enough. You see, student athletes from every sport that are walking in here, and the energy is different than when I first got here inside of the building, and you can feel that. It's because of the atmosphere that's been created across all the sports.
Eric?
Were you pleased with how everybody around Hendon kind of stepped up with Cedric one down that's been lost, a couple turnovers with running backs with the tight ends, everybody kind of elevated the play. And secondly, what did you think of that catch from Heupel?
Yeah, Saturday was a great example of this being the greatest team sport there is, and the next man inevitably is going to have to step up, and you saw that in multiple ways throughout the course of the game. Ramel's catch is a great example, but that's just one play that he made on Saturday. Greatest tribute you can give to him, man, is there wasn't anything that was different about what we did, and you could see the trust that Hendon had in him, and when the ball went his way, he came away with it and made plays on the catch, but then after the catch too, and his play down the sideline was a huge turning point in the football game, allowed us to be aggressive in the 2-minute situation and go get points, able to flip the scoreboard there with a 14-point swing.
Brent, Rob, and Wes.
The last couple of weeks, we've asked about your secondary. You've mentioned a couple of times tightening up their coverage. Is that them not playing with confidence? Is that them not understanding? Why is the secondary not playing as high?
It's just being a little bit better in fundamentals, technique, having their eyes on the right place, and understanding situational football. It's things that they can and will do here as we continue to move.
Coach Joshua Josephs and Kyrie West both get some pretty significant action in the big spot. How did you evaluate?
Yeah, I thought they played really well. Gap integrity in the run game and being able to affect the quarterback in some of the passing situations. Tyree had some tackles that were behind the line of scrimmage, and I think those guys are going to continue to grow here as we go. We're deeper and able to play more guys. Are able to play harder for longer and play at a higher level. Those two guys continued growth here. Something I'm really excited about seeing here on the back 2/3 of the season.
Josh, think back to the way Hendon sort of played maybe last year, right? When you go to him there the third or fourth game and where he is now. How much of a different level is he playing at now, and how much room is there still to grow for him? Because statistically, the numbers don't get much better.
Yeah, there's still room for him to grow. He would say and echo the same thing. But it's awesome that we can see the growth of him, but you guys can see it too. And this game's really hard. Playing that position is really hard. The decisions you got to make, the ability to do that in the run game and the pass game, way he's using his feet. Sometimes it looks easy because they're playing at a really high level. It's not easy, and he's just in so much command of what we're doing. He understands the why behind everything, and that's a big part of it.
Two more, no other yes.
Coach, you've had some guys that have made mistakes in games and come back and made some key plays. Obviously, Trey Flowers gets a hit, and Princeton Fan had the fumble and the critical pickup on third down. Just what does that say about guys like that coming out and just your trust in them as well?
Yeah, I think it does show trust by our entire coaching staff because they've earned that trust. Two, I think it's a mentality, attitude, to have the ability to reset, and I think that speaks to some of the growth inside of our program and the growth of our players individually, that they have the ability to reset. This game's going to have a bunch of ups and downs. It ain't going to be perfect, and our players have understood that and have been able to reset and go compete, and the look in their eye on Saturday when it wasn't going good, or against Pitt, it doesn't waver, it doesn't change, and that speaks to some of the maturity of our football team.
Josh, I know you guys will do some LSU work later in the week, but what are your early observations on the LSU Tigers?
Yeah, they're long, they're athletic, defensively, multiple in what they do. Offensively, have some skill players that can affect the game, and so it's a good football team.
All right, we'll have players shortly. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it, guys.